Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is the bonus episode talking about the AHIMA, the American Health Information Management Association National Conference. I'm giving my tips this year. This is 2024, and I'm talking to those of you who are interested in attending conference and you're kind of curious about what happens and should you go? It's entirely up to you if you want to go. But some of the benefits I'm going to be talking about here as well. And in this series, I'm also giving my tips on travel and things like that. Just the insider stuff that, if you've never attended conference or you haven't attended conference in a while, would be helpful for you to know. Today, I'm talking about how to plan which sessions you're going to attend. So with that said, the link for the AHIMA website will be in the description box and in the comments, so that way it's easy for everybody to get to it. You can see the comments, but when you go to the AHIMA website and you see the tab, let's see, it'll say workshops. You want to click on the workshops tab, and then you want to click on, it'll be on the left-hand side, it'll say schedule, and you can see the full schedule, okay? It'll give you all the days. Now, I'm using Monday as the example, Monday, October 28th, because I will be speaking on that day. But I wanted to use this as a breakdown of how I'm explaining this. So this is the very first full day of classes, right? Because Sunday is the kickoff, and that's when, well, they have sessions on beginning Saturday, but that's if you want to pay extra for attending those sessions. And they have some pretty cool workshops. I'll talk about that on another episode if y'all want to. But this is Sunday. The kicking off is beginning at 7 to 7:30. The 7:30 p.m. Obviously 7:30 a.m. 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. The AHIMA 24 registration is now open. So if you had not had a chance to get your tickets before getting to conference, you can certainly register there on site. If you have already registered, that is where you will go and you will pick up your registration bundle. It'll of course have your badge in it. This badge you will have to have with you. The badge has, if it's like last year, okay, it may have changed, but if it's like last year, it will have a barcode. It usually has a barcode. All of these badges always have barcodes, and that barcode is what is going to help you get your CEUs. So last year in Baltimore, they had like the local Baltimore chapter for AHIMA scanning the badges, and they also had other student volunteers. But they scan your badge, and when you go in to the session, you have to stay there for 45 minutes. Because if you do not stay there for 45 minutes, you will not get credit for the CEU. You have to stay there for 45 minutes so that you can get full credit for your CEU, okay? And you get a CEU for every single class that you attend. Now, there's multiple classes that are happening in the same hour, and we'll get into that here in a second. But starting on Sunday, the real thing as far as like the workshops, there's workshops during the day, but they do have a new attendee meetup and orientation. So if you have not been to conference ever, or if you haven't been in a really long time and you want to kind of get acquainted with the people again, from 2 to 3 p.m., that's of course Mountain Standard Time, there will be a new attendee meetup and orientation, okay? And basically they just have like, little get together so you can meet each other and things. And I went to that, and my very first conference, I went to that when I was in San Diego. I went to that, and that was how I met my other friend, Darlene. When I went there, that's where we met, was the newcomer orientation. So there, right? And then from 4 to 6 p.m., they have the opening general session and keynote speaker. Dr. Calhoun, Dr. Mona Calhoun is going to be there, and Dr. Clower is going to be there. So they are going to be the keynote speakers for the opening general session. And then you can earn 2 CEUs for attending that session, okay, from 4 to 6. And then from 4:25 to 4:50, they're going to have the award ceremony during that time as well. And then from 6 to 8, they're going to be having the opening reception and exhibit hall opens. So from 6 to 8, 2 hours, you're going to be walking around and, checking out the vendor booths and things like that. They have all kinds of things going on in the exhibit hall that is really awesome. And not only that, the vendors will also have their own presentations that they do in the exhibit hall. So you're not just limited to just the classes that are going on in the conference center, but there's also maybe some things that are going on inside the exhibit hall. I will say this. This was not a CEU thing, obviously, but when I went to the conference, the AHEMA conference in New Orleans, Ramona Singer from the Real Housewives of New York City was making an appearance, and she was signing her book. So one of the vendors had her there. She was their guest. And so if you went, then you could get her book and, she could sign it and stuff like that. So of course, rather than go to one of the classes in the convention center, I stayed in the exhibit hall just so that I can meet Ramona. But I got all my CEUs, so I'm not even going to worry about that. At the time, I had gotten plenty of CEUs, and I was already all good with everything. So I wanted to make sure that I was there for Ramona, and I was the very first one in line. I was so excited to meet her, and she was so awesome. Like how she is on the show. I mean, I didn't see any of that, but she was a really nice lady, and it was a really awesome experience. So, like I said, sometimes these vendors, they do have things like that. Sometimes they have other demonstrations where you can earn CEUs. So there's always those things. You have to kind of like look, and that's, the opening session is really good for that. So make sure that you attend that opening session. It's a really great way to start meeting people too, okay? So that said, now we get to Monday, October 28th. So when you go on the website and you're looking at all of the things, right? Because of course it starts off with registration is now open. They have breakfast in the exhibit hall. So you will get breakfast, you do get lunch, and it's throughout. And then of course you're getting snacks the whole way too, okay? And you'll see that on the website where they talk about that. So then they say from 7:30 to 3:45, the exhibit hall is open. And from 8:30, then they start doing the breakout sessions, okay? The breakout sessions start at 8:30. There are 5 for the first round. So these 5 are just 5 different topics that you can, you can just pick one, and then you can just attend that one. I recommend making sure that you go to every single block of time where they're doing a class, and just pick a class that you think is interesting. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything that's related to your work. It could just be something else that you're interested in, okay? And the reason that you do that is, number one, so you can get your CEUs. Number two, sometimes you may learn something that you didn't even think about just from going to a different kind of session. Now, as I mentioned in another video, this conference is going to be a virtual, it's going to be a hybrid event. So they will have some sessions that will be live streamed. A lot of these sessions are live streamed. So if you are not able to travel to Salt Lake City, you can still attend conference from the comfort of your own home. You will still, or office, and you will still be able to participate in the sessions because there will be live Q&A, okay? I don't know if somebody's doing the monitoring and asking the questions for the people or what, but that is something that is an option this year for conference, and I am very excited about that. But some of the things that you can choose from, there's just different domains that you can focus on. Let me see if I can bring that one up. So there's 6 AHEMA tracks, the tracks, right? Designed specifically for health information professionals. To enhance your AHEMA 24 educational experience, we have added 2 new tracks to this year's lineup. Our impactful sessions are designed to help attendees upskill their knowledge base to help them advance their careers and adapt to the future of health information. So they have career advancement, policy and government, emerging trends, operational outcomes, data integrity and documentation, and privacy and security. So these are the 6 tracks, and each one of these tracks has the different sessions that go along with it. So you don't necessarily have to go to all, like, only one type of session. You have your choice of whatever session you want to go to, okay? So there's the first batch of sessions is from 8:30 to 9:15. There's 5 for you to choose from. Is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there's 5 for you to choose from. And then they have the break from 9:15 to 10:15 in the exhibit hall. They say the coffee is brewing, so they have coffee for everybody. And then 9:30 to, okay, so that's somebody else. So there's another session during that time, like that weird time in between. So you can go to the exhibit hall, or you can attend this other session that's by itself, okay? Because there's a session from 9:30 to 9:55. It's like a little 20-minute session. And it's one of the vendors that's sponsoring, it looks like. Okay, and then you have the next batch of sessions is at 10:15 to 11 o'clock. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 sessions to choose from the 10:15 to 11 a.m. hour. So, or 45 minutes. So you can choose anything you want to attend. There's a lot of really great sessions going on this year. I am so excited about some of these sessions. So I have already marked mine. And the great thing about the website, once you get registered, if you're registered, you can favorite the ones that you want to attend. So that way you can already start kind of planning out what you want to attend, and then kind of have that in your mind. So you can click on the star, so you can favorite it. You can like the description of the session, and all of these sessions, you can click on the title of the session, and a description will pop up talking about what that session is going to cover and who the speaker is. And again, if you see me on there, you'll see my picture, and you'll see a description of my session, which is best practices for performing provider education. So then we have from 11 a.m. to 12:45 is a lunch break in the exhibit hall. And it says, join fellow health information colleagues and AHIMA 24 vendors for a delicious lunch in the exhibit hall. Be sure to mingle while you munch. Check the schedule for tech demos and get the latest vendor product updates. Join meetups with your colleagues. Check out career center activities and more. So they do have those career center activities as well. So, and then from the 11:30 to 11:55, these are like 20-minute sessions too. So some of the vendors are out there, doing their presentations, just a couple of them. So if you're interested in that's during that time, you can totally attend those. Let's see. Then they have a lot of those other tech demos. And then they have from 12:45 to 1:30. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions. 5 sessions, okay? And again, these are all going to be throughout the conference center. So you'll get a map, and you'll be able to see like where you're going to go. There's signs everywhere. There's volunteers everywhere. So never fear. You will not be lost. There's plenty of people to help you to know where to go. And then they from 1:30 to 2:30, they have time for a break. Head to the exhibit hall for refreshments. And then from 2:30 to 3:15. Now, 2:30, that's when I'm speaking. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sessions going on, okay? So make sure you check out mine. But you have all those to choose from. And then from 3:15 to 3:45, there's networking break in the exhibit hall. And then, of course, they have the closeout session for the day. There's the closeout session for the day is from 3:45 to 5:15 p.m. It is improving the collection, sharing, and use of social determinants of health data, lessons learned from data from better health. So there's a lot of speakers, a lot of really great speakers in that session. So that's your closeout session for the day. And then we have Tuesday. Tuesday is the last day of the conference. So we have our opening session day, we have our Monday session day, and then we have Tuesday. So Tuesday, the registration opens, of course, at 7. Then we begin our day with the 8:30 to 9:15 sessions. Okay, so at 7:30 to 9 a.m. they have a continental breakfast and coffee. And then, of course, the exhibit hall is open from 7:30 to 4 p.m. because that's the closing of the exhibit hall. 4 p.m., that's it. But 8:30 to 9:15 a.m. is the first round of sessions. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 sessions. And I really recommend picking out a session to go to during these blocks of time, so that way you can kind of know what you're going to do, because it's very easy to get where the clock gets away from you and you don't want to be late for these sessions, okay? Then, of course, they have 9:15 to 10:15 exhibit hall break. Coffee is brewing. And they have some more tech demos. And these are like 20-minute tech demos. Then they have sessions from 10:15 to 11 a.m. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions to choose from. Is that right? No, 5 sessions to choose from. I'm sorry. 5 sessions to choose from. Yep. And then they have an educator's luncheon, but that's you have to buy tickets for that. And then they also have the lunch break in the exhibit hall. So that's for everybody. And then, of course, they have the next sessions begin at 12:45 to 1:30. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions to choose from. Then from 1:30 to 2:45, time for a break, head to the exhibit hall for refreshments. 2:45 to 3:30, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions to choose from. And then 3:30 to 4 o'clock is the exhibit hall finale. And usually they're already breaking down a lot of the stuff. And so sometimes some of the vendors, when they like, that's it, they're like, okay, here you go, so there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of breaking down like during that time. Then there's from 4 to 5:30 p.m. there's the closing general session. Dr. Calhoun will be speaking, Dr. Elizondo will be speaking, and Dr. Clower will be speaking as well. So they will be speaking, and then from 6:15 to 9 p.m. they're having the Great Gathering all attendee reception. Now, I don't know where it is, and normally it's at a different place. They haven't said where it's going to be or any other location, so it may be there. I don't know. I don't know where they're going to have it. It doesn't say, but they're just saying that that's the time. So from, let's see, from 6:15 to 9 p.m. is when they're going to have that reception. So there's food, there's drinks, there's a good time. There's usually really good entertainment. I can't do this episode without talking about Casey and the Sunshine Band. Now, of course, they're not attending this year. I know they're not, because they would have said it already. But when I attended San Diego, that was the best, guys. I'm telling you, that was the best, because they had us out there in the Padres field, and they had all kinds of food for us, and they also had Casey and the Sunshine Band performing for us. So that was really awesome. And we haven't had them since. But there's been a lot of changes too. And of course, with the pandemic did not help. So, but yes, so it's a great time to be had by all. It's a really good experience. Even if you're not really a big people person, sometimes being in a different environment outside of your work makes you see things a little bit differently as far as like the industry, and then being able to connect with other people, because there's other people that are going to be there by themselves too. And so not everybody's in a group, so don't think that. There's always somebody to talk to. But anyway, with that said, pick out what sessions you're going to be attending so you can keep yourself organized. You know where to go. Star the sessions that you're interested in. If there's 2 sessions happening at the same time, just pick one that you really want to attend, but you have to just pick one, okay? Don't try to dart back and forth between sessions. But that's just something that's you got to think about, okay? But there's plenty of time still till conference, but make your schedule, pick out something that you're interested in. There's lots of really good sessions this year. Again, lots that I'm very excited about, and there's really good conversations to be had in these sessions as well. So with that said, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.